Hello YouTubers and those passionate about learning CorelDraw. My name is Bartholomew Favor and I have a beginner's tutorial for you all. This is what we'll be designing. It's a book cover, like a notebook or textbook. It could be anything. It's just for you to choose the right type of layout for your design. But this particular one is for a notebook cover. So let's get to it. Okay, moving on. I have a blank document opened right now and I would want to import the image I'll be using for the tutorial. So I would click on import, then locate the image. I'll be using this image. Okay, and it's always a good habit to always draw a rectangle that all your designs will be fitted into. Okay, to draw the rectangle, I have a very neat shortcut for you. Okay, this is the rectangle tool. So by double clicking on it, it automatically draws a rectangle on the canvas with the same dimensions with the canvas. So I'm gonna double click and voila, that is it. So I'm gonna change the outline color right now by double clicking on that where my mouse is currently hovering, then changing the color to something a little grayish. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is to create a little box up here where you can put the name of the book, the title of the book actually. So we can do that by dragging this. And one more thing, is always good to do designs on CorelDraw with an external mouse. What using an external mouse does for you is that you'll be able to use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out instead of using your two hands on your mouse pad on your laptop to zoom out. And also when dragging items, maybe a section of with some part of the items like this, you can actually right click and it duplicates the item. So you have two of these. This is the original and this is the resized one. Or you can actually drag something like this and right click and you have a duplicate of the object. So I'll delete this now. And what I actually wanted to here is to, let me resize this a bit, to have the page title here. To place this image inside this rectangle, you would right click and select power clip inside. But for older version users, because I know this is a recent feature in X7, X5, I think. I know it's not in X12, X2, sorry, which is Corel 12. Okay, so to place this image inside of this box, you have to select the image first, then click on Object, Power Clip, and place inside frame. So select that and then we'll select the frame, which is the rectangle or the box or anything you want the image to be inside. So selecting this rectangle immediately snaps the image into the rectangle. For the new update users, you can easily click on this to edit the power clip, but for older users you should click on Objects, Power Clip, and Edit Power Clip. Okay, so I would want to resize this image to fit the design, my design. Okay, I think that's about right. Then you could click on stop editing this level to finish editing the power clip, or you can click on Object, Power Clip, finish editing this level, same thing. Okay, and for this bar, to make it that brownish color I showed you in the beginning, we can double click on this and select uniform fill, Then we can tweak this a little bit. I want this to have a value of 14, this to have a value of 26, this to have a value of 63, yeah, no, 63, yeah, and this to have a value of 0. That's the color. I would want to design the part where you'll be asked to write your name, like in most notebooks. There is always a section for you to write your name, your class, the date, stuff like that. The way I would do that is to use the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle, something like this, yeah, and then I would want to give it a white color, yeah, and I don't want it to have an outline. So what I can do is I can hover my mouse on this X and then right click and the outline is gone. And I also want it to have a transparency. I want it to be transparent, so this is the transparency tool. I can click on it and select uniform, and it automatically puts it to 50% transparency. For new users, if it doesn't, you can always put it to 50% here. Okay, I would want the edge not to be so sharp, so I would want it to be like a radius here, a little angle radius. So I use the shape tool. I will drag this node right here, drag it a little down, and it gives me the curve. Okay, right now then I can right click and select convert to curves. Now that it's converted to curves, you can see I can't do that no more. So actually I still need that tool. I would select this part, and by double clicking on it gets deleted, which is perfectly fine. That's what I want. And I'll delete this one too. Then on this part I hover my mouse on the line, right click and select to line. It changes that part to line. So right now I would want to select those 2 points, and holding shift I would drag it down. Make sure it's a line, perfect line. You can drag it further so that you can be precise. Okay, so now that that's done, we will need some more box inside. So I said box, sorry, rectangles inside this rectangle to indicate the separate parameters that are required. Okay, so using the rectangle tool again, I'm going to draw 3 separate rectangles. This is 1. Okay, and I can just duplicate it instead of drawing 3 separate rectangles. So using the shape tool, I'm going to just add that angle radius again a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to give it a white color. The outline is fine, but I'm going to change the color, and changing the color I need to right click. Remember, right click. So I'm going to reshape it and move it to the left. Okay, that is fine. To the right, sorry. So duplicating it, I will drag and right click to duplicate, and I'd also hold shift to restrict the movement to either the horizontal or vertical line, and then I release. So you can notice that I have two of those. Move it up a bit, then duplicate one more, and holding shift I'll release. Yeah, that's fine. Move it up, move this one up a bit too. Then I would want to resize this one. Alright, with these boxes drawn now, all that, okay, one more thing, we would want to make the box transparent, the three boxes. So selecting the three of them, I can just click on the transparency tool and select uniform. It's a little too transparent, so I'm going to reduce the percentage a bit by dragging this arrow or dragging it here, just to reduce the effect of the transparency. I think that's about fine. Then now we type all the texts on the design. To make this all caps, I wouldn't bother because I'm very sure that the font I chose will automatically make it all caps for me. But in case you want to make it all caps because of the font you're using, you can select all the text, then go to text, go to edit text, then under these options there's change case, and change it to uppercase, which doesn't change anything for me. So selecting this arrow, I would go to the name of the font I'm using is called Punch straight. Yeah, selecting everything again, I'll select the font. Then I would want to resize the text. You can do that by using any of these 3 points on the text. Well, first of all, let me position the text. So now resizing it, I think that's about okay. Then we select a white color. The next text, I would want to use a Sergio UI for this. Then position it. That's about okay. Oh, sorry. That's about okay right now. And the color as well should be white. And I would want to make the .com bolder by selecting that part of the text, clicking on bold. That's just it. Tagline. The tagline also should be Sergio UI, and I would position it right now, make it bigger, then change the color to white. I would also want to change it to capital letters. So with it selected, I'll select text, edit text, and select everything. Then options, change case, uppercase, and OK. Then I reposition it one more time. Then I would want the tagline to be bold, so I select it and select bold. I think it's a little too big, so I'll just reduce the size a bit. For the name, subject, and date, I would want it to have the same brown color but a bit darker. So I would select this, then drag the color onto the name, then select the name and double click on this and drag the color a little down. I think that's about right. And okay, then move the name into position. Okay, I would want to make this bigger, 3 of them. I would select I think 30 should be okay. 30. Okay, then I would also want to make it capital letter, so selecting the text, I'll click on text, edit text, select everything, options, change case, uppercase. Okay, I think that 30 is too much, so I would reduce it back to 24 and position this properly where it's supposed to be. Okay, I think that's about okay. Then drag the color also onto the next one, then change the case, text, edit text, select everything. Also, you could have just saved yourself the stress and typed it in capital letters, but I just wanted to show you this feature. And okay, subject, then sorry, undo that, and move this into position. Okay, and this is a little too big. Okay, because it's still 30, so move it down to 24. This is 30, 24, and this also to be text, edit text, select it, options, change case, capital. Okay, and color, drag this. Okay, it should be 30, 24, sorry. Then it should be all bold. And move it there, selecting everything, and to align it to the left, just press L and it's all aligned to the left. To position it right, I think that's about okay, but I want the date to be closer to this box, so I'll move it closer. That's about okay. So it's always a good habit to save your document. Okay, that concludes it for the front page of the design. Now moving to the back page, I would create a new document, and I know I would still be needing this image for the back cover, so edit power clip, then copy, finish editing this level, then going to this page I just created. I would also double click on this to create a rectangle around the canvas. Then I would change the outline. I could do it by double clicking on this and changing the color to about 60%, or you can just right click on this 60%. So now I would want to paste the image by right clicking and select paste. Then to place the image inside the rectangle, go to objects, power clip, place inside container, select the container, then edit, power clip, then move it up over That's just about right. Yeah, then on this lower end, that's where I'm gonna write some other things that you would want to put at the back of cover page, if that makes any sense. So rectangle tool again, and draw a rectangle around this part. Okay, right now the color of this box is supposed to be the same color as of this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag this out and right click to duplicate, leave it out here, then go to page 2. It will still be available to us. Then I would take the color into this one. Yeah, then I can delete this now. On my design, I have a barcode, and I'm sure you know what barcodes are. They are like electronic fingerprints. They have some specific codes that are only recognized by some electronic devices. So for my own purpose of tutoring you, I would only just create an exemplary code, which I think 1 2 3 4 should serve as a good example. So to create a barcode, we go to object, insert barcode. This is because I typed it before. You can just clean it and write 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and here barcode. Next, all these default values are okay. Next, and this is also okay, so I click finish, and that's the code there. So I'm going to move it down here to suit my previous design, and also I would like to zoom in so that I can get a precise view of what I'm doing, and I would resize this to fit snugly into that part. Okay, most of the things on this back page is basically repetitions of what's in the first page. I know this tagline I would also need it in the back page, so I'm going to copy it and go to the back page and paste, but I am going to change the position, and I would place it up here, just above at this place. If you want to write the name of your company, or you can choose to put it anywhere, but just for the design, also emphasizing that I would put it here, the name of my company, or my fantasy company is, and I'll be using the same font as I used earlier, which is Falcon Punch. I would also want it to be white, and I'll scale it up very big and position it right. I'll need to scale it up a little bit more. Okay, and one more thing, the website, copy it, Ctrl C, go to the page 2, Ctrl V, and move it down. There you go. And well, that concludes this video. I hope to see you in my next tutorial, and also please subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what you like about this video or what you don't like about it. Maybe I'm too explanatory, or maybe I didn't explain something very well, or you don't like my accent, anything. Please just tell me. Thank you.